what's going on, everybody? Miles Berghoff here, MLF Pro Circuit Angler, and since you're checking out Fishing Line, I'm glad that you decided to check out Seaguar InvizX. This is the best-selling fluorocarbon mainline that is soft and easy to cast. In fact, InvizX is designed to have very low memory, which makes it very soft, supple, and more castable. This line can be used on both spinning and bait casting gear and has exceptional sensitivity and virtually no stretch. And one great quality about InvizX is the fact that, as opposed to monofilament line, this line sinks very, very fast, which means that you can get your bait down to the strike zone longer and maintain contact with that bait, a direct line of contact, very easily. InvizX fluorocarbon is ideal for multi-species freshwater fishing, from bluegill to crappie, bass to walleye. This is the line that's not going to let you down. And the best part is, it's made by Seaguar, the world leader and inventor of fluorocarbon fishing lines and leader material. And for guys like me who make a living fishing, Seaguar InvizX is a go-to. So check out Seaguar InvizX. You're not going to be disappointed.
Hey everyone, I'm glad you decided to check out Seaguar Tatsu fluorocarbon fishing line. It is a one-of-a-kind double structure fluorocarbon made by the worldwide leader and inventor of fluorocarbon, Seaguar. It is a double structure fluorocarbon line that is made by an exclusive process by Seaguar that combines 200% fluorocarbon resins to give it that soft, supple, castable, yet strong and sensitive mainline fishing line. And what that allows me to do is fish this line on bait casters, spinning reels, and for multiple species, right? It can be bass, walleye, bluegill, crappie, catfish. Doesn't matter, this line can get it done, match up the right pound test, and this can be a great line for you. So when money is on the line and my career's on the line, I trust Seaguar Tatsu. Do you want to do the same? Make sure you give it a try too.
Hey folks, Mark Zona with you here. Glad you're shopping for a high-performance braided line. Do me a favor, check out Seaguar Smackdown braided line, okay? It's an 8-strand round braid, and what that means to us, you are gonna get distance when you're casting. The other thing, and this is what I love about this braided line, I can't hear it, okay? I don't hear it going through my guides. And the great thing about this is, whenever you're finesse fishing, look at the high-vis flash green. Whenever you're power fishing up shallow, look at the stealth gray. You can be very sneaky. It's almost invisible to shallow water bass. Hey, do me a favor. Check out Seaguar Smackdown braid.
If you're looking for a dependable, tough as nails fishing line, Seaguar Red Label might be just for you. It's a freshwater main line that's made from 100% fluorocarbon resins. Seaguar invented the fluorocarbon line in 1971, made exclusively out of their resins for them. On the water, Red Label is proven to be very strong, highly abrasive resistant. It's a great all-around line that provides knot tensile strength of the 100% fluorocarbons. Like all Seaguar fluorocarbon lines, Red Label is less visible underwater than monofilament, and that can't help but get you more bites. So for the strong, dependable fluorocarbon line, that's a good economical option. Give Seaguar Red Label a try.
Hey everybody, Al Noriker here for KastKing. You know, since KastKing first began, we have been a leader in the fishing industry when it comes to selling fishing lines, whether it be monofilament, fluorocoat, or certainly our braided lines. In fact, we're one of the largest sellers on Amazon today of fishing lines. So the one thing that we've been missing from the very beginning is to have a great quality fluorocarbon, true 100% fluorocarbon fishing line. But what I have to show you today is the new Kovert fluorocarbon line. Brand new from KastKing, 100% fluorocarbon line, made in Germany from a factory that is absolutely one of the world leaders in the technology for building true fluorocarbon fishing lines. You know, it took us a while to come out with a fluorocarbon line, but we waited until we found what we felt was going to be the highest quality fluorocarbon fishing line for our customers and our fans. So we have that now. Now the Kovert is going to be available in 2 different sizes. We're going to have a 200-yard spool and we're going to have a 50-yard spool. The 200-yard spools are going to be available from 4 pounds all the way up to 30 pounds. Perfect for filling casting reels, a lot of spinning reels. But if you need to fill a complete reel with fluorocarbon line or just need a little bit more line, the 200-yard spools of Kovert are going to be perfect for you. If you just need leader material, we're going to have this available from 4 up to 50-pound test in the 50-yard spools. And I'm going to show you on the 200-yard spools. I love this feature because they're going to have this really nice leader dispenser or line dispenser built right into the packaging. It's going to be very easy for you to manage this line. It's not going to be laying all over your boat or in your tackle bag. This leader dispenser is a really nice feature inside the box of Kovert. Now let's talk a little bit about why you should be using fluorocarbon. So, fluorocarbon lines have become very popular. The main reason most people go to a fluorocarbon is they want line that is truly invisible under the surface of the water. The reason fluorocarbon line is virtually invisible under the surface is that the light refraction index of fluorocarbon material is about the same as water, which makes it virtually invisible. Some of the other advantages of fluorocarbon include the fact that it is extremely sensitive. So it's kind of like using a braided line, except in this case, totally invisible. The fluorocarbon line matches up very well as a leader with braided lines, super lines of some sort, so that you don't lose that sensitivity that you're gaining with a braided line. Some of the other things about fluorocarbon that are really, really important is that fluorocarbon lines are about 80% heavier than water. It makes it sink faster. Now, if you're a fly fisherman and and you're casting dry flies, you never want to use a fluorocarbon line because that fluorocarbon line will actually sink and take your fly down. But if you're a traditional fisherman and you want line that sinks faster to reach a little bit deeper in depths or keep it lower to the bottom, fluorocarbon is a perfect choice. Another characteristic of fluorocarbon is that it's virtually waterproof. So unlike braided lines or even monofilament that will absorb some water, fluorocarbon line is 100% waterproof. So it has the same characteristics wet as it does dry. That's a very important feature. Now, let's talk about a couple things that are, in some cases, misconceptions about fluorocarbon line. And the first is the stretch. Most of us think that fluorocarbon line doesn't stretch as much as mono. Well, it does stretch. The difference between mono and fluorocarbon is that it takes a little bit more shock, a little more energy to get fluorocarbon to start stretching. But once you've done that, it will stretch as well. Now, a lot of times, because fluorocarbon is 100% invisible under the surface of the water, we can use a little bit thicker line, right? So when you're using a little heavier or thicker diameter line, they obviously don't stretch as much as thinner diameter lines. Same goes with abrasion resistance. If you're using a heavier line, it is tougher. It has a little more abrasion resistance. But fluorocarbon itself, because it is such a fine material and such a slick coating, you can damage that even while tying knots. So it's really, really important that when you're tying a knot using a fluorocarbon line, you do one thing. You've got to make sure that that knot is wet. You don't want to tie dry knots with fluorocarbon or you can damage that. So, and that's not just with Kovert, that's with any fluorocarbon line out there. So really important is when you're tying knots with fluorocarbon, make sure you get that line wet. So you have the advantage with all fluorocarbon lines, especially with Kovert, that it's highly sensitive, really, really sensitive, much like braid, and much more than mono. It's virtually invisible under the surface of the water because of the light refraction index matches the water. It's 80% heavier than water, so it sinks faster. But it's great for applications where you want to get your bait down closer to the bottom. Fluorocarbon lines are really, really important for that. So, finally, folks, to all our fans out there, it's been a long time coming, but we have it for you now. The new KastKing Kovert 100% fluorocarbon fishing line through Amazon, every place.